I was getting the mood for Pompeii sexy time.
Cut all of this shit.
No, it's my episode. I get one episode. I get one episode because the rest of the time I'm slaving away editing and listening to audio and, getting the scripts organized, getting all your dumbass thoughts organized into a readable script.
The whole video is
This is the thing that I get to do. This is my special thing, and we're doing it.
We don't require you to do all that shit. You choose to do all that shit.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Public Access. Today's topic will be Pompeii and maybe a little bit of a crazy Swedish person.
First of all, say the fucking title of today's episode.
Sexy Pompeii time.
That's right, you guys. It's sexy Pompeii time. I'm going to edit in some sexy dance music right here.
You're going to forget to edit this and it's just going to be awkward.
I'm doing a lot of thrusting and a lot of ball swinging right now.
We should probably do intros.
Oh yeah, I'm Jon the Younger.
Jon the Younger,
and I'm controlling the reins of.
You're the elder, Jon the Elder.
Yeah, this is my.
Jon the Younger is here too.
Yes, I already introduced myself.
Yeah. I was focused on your father over there undulating and doing.
We can't hear it. Beats. We couldn't hear your introduction over all the hot, sexy music playing because it's sexy Pompeii fun time. Hot music again.
This today is gonna be our public access on Pompeii. As usual, I'm Kane, and you get a bit of a break from my voice today because Jon the Elder is going to be talking the most.
So, you guys, we went over Pompeii and Story Beneath a little bit, but what was life really like in Pompeii? Well, we went over the city was wiped off the earth. We kind of set the setting with the market, but again, it's kind of hard. It seems so foreign, but in reality, it's really not. So you can compare it to a modern day city, the nearby city of Naples. Naples is like a 2-story city. So was Pompeii.
I think Pompeii's still a thing. Like, don't they?
It's not a city. The
ruins are still
ruins. There. It's like a museum now. You go and you tour it.
Yeah.
Naples is the biggest city closest to it.
Yeah, is there not a city actually like in France called Pompeii now?
No.
No, and it'd be Rome.
Italy.
Roman.
Or Italy,
I
sorry.
said Roman.
Yeah.
It is in Italy. But I almost said Roman.
I'm pretty sure it's an actual place. I'm almost positive, yeah.
I mean,
I'm
there might be a population there still, but the Pompeii ruins are huge. But if we look at Naples, the nearby city of Naples, it's
I know this because, I'm pretty sure a wrestling show is going to run there.
In Pompeii?
Yeah.
No, because Pink Floyd played in Pompeii, but it was in the Pompeii ruins.
Yeah, there's no.
Okay.
Yeah, it was wiped off the earth. That's the whole.
Pompeii's was a Roman city.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so Naples is the closest thing we have to compare it to. I already tried to step on my facts that I put together.
I was just fact checking, all right?
So Naples is a 2-story city similar to Pompeii, which means it's like a street level where like shops, things are downstairs, and upstairs is where people lived. Also,
are you talking historic Naples or modern Naples?
Modern Naples.
Okay.
It's set up really similar, and I'm going to show you guys that in a second. But first, also the graffiti in both Naples and Pompeii were very similar. Let's go to our first slide. All right. So the first image, and we'll put this up on YouTube for everyone to see.
We can't put this up on YouTube for everyone to see.
We'll do some censoring, but for our podcast listeners and audio only listeners,
we especially because that left one. Did you see what was in that left one besides the big the wings?
So, Jon the Younger, do you want to go ahead and describe the first and second picture for us?
The first picture is a giant dick.
Do you see what else is in that?
Dick.
Do you see what else is on the left picture?
And someone said, "Fuck." It's in a different language.
yeah, that would be in Italian, sir.
And I don't know what the second thing looks like a rock.
Look closer.
The boulder.
Look closer. There's a penis there. Carved into the stone.
I'm not seeing
Oh,
it.
God! Hold on.
I'm sure that
Hold on.
that fallen
Jesus
subsequent
Christ.
pawing at the microphone won't come
Holy
through.
shit!
So,
I'm not seeing
There's the
it.
balls.
Yeah.
There's the shaft. There's the head.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you gotta use your imagination.
See, I have more respect from the one on the right because that clearly took some work.
It did.
Like, it's not carved into the rock. They carved the rock down from around it so that it is bulging.
Someone spent their
What is
day
this left
doing
picture?
that.
Do you know?
It's graffiti in Naples.
Oh, it is okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm showing you what Pompeii kind of looked like. It's not really that different from modern day. Ken, if you want to go to the next slide. Next slide, please. So that's like how the streets, like the stairs come out onto the streets, right out into the open streets of the market. If you click to the next slide, that's Naples, modern Naples. That's Pompeii. You can see the similarities in construction, how it comes down onto the open street. I think you could click the next slide because we're going to do the shop again.
I thought so.
That's a modern Naples shop. Food hanging and things like that. So you see, and this is a painting in Pompeii, or a depiction of a modern shop in Pompeii. Again, you can see it's kind of like a restaurant, food hanging up. It's all very similar to modern day Naples still. So we can kind of get a feel for what life was like in Pompeii if we just look at Naples. If you go to the next slide, that's modern Naples. That's what the foot traffic would have looked like on the busy day that Mount Vesuvius exploded.
Did they also have
buried
clotheslines hanging up across the street in
I don't
Pompeii?
think so, but that's the same kind of urban vibe that you would get from Pompeii. Just they would be, instead of clothes, it'd be like togas and tunics and things of that nature.
That's a beautiful city, though.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting. Again, it's 2-story city. It's an interesting construction, and that's a lot like how Pompeii. That's the vibe Pompeii would have gave off. Just an ancient version of this.
A busy metropolis.
Yes. So, what do you guys think as far as?
Do you know the population of Pompeii? Like at the time of the...
Oh, I don't have it
Volcano?
in my notes.
Okay. I was
But
just
I
curious.
think it was like a population of 2,000 to 3,000 people
That would seem about right
ended
for
I'm
the
being
time.
buried. If
I
I'm
can
if
Google
I'm
it really
remembering off the
Yeah.
top of my head, you can Google it really quick.
Yeah, I got you.
I think I'm pretty close.
I imagine it would be hard for them to know for certain.
Oh, it says 10 to 20,000 here.
Okay, so
Oh, really?
20,000.
Wow.
Okay.
It was a
yeah,
big city.
it was.
But
It was.
Some evidence apparently suggests up to 30,000.
Yeah, and at the time, it was also a port city.
Yeah.
The volcano kind of changed that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you guys think is the most popular art in Pompeii?
What do you mean?
We talked about it a little
Dongs.
bit. Oh yeah, dude, dicks everywhere.
Yeah.
There's so much dicks.
It's the most popular art anywhere in any era. It's so easy to draw. I mean,
There's so many dicks all over Pompeii, though. An unusual amount of dicks. It's left literal scientists and archaeologists wondering, why are there so many dicks here? We should really investigate this and figure it out. That's what we're going to go through today. My main source today is Mary Beard and her book, Pompeii. I think it's the book. Oh, shit, the subtitle. It's also a documentary called Pompeii, the city, how an ancient Roman city lived and died.
Okay.
It's available for free on YouTube. It's a BBC documentary. It's excellent. That's going to be my primary sources for today, other than some other random, stuff I pulled off the web that we could link in the description.
it's BBC, so they're just pretending like no one died and everything's fine. Totally cool.
No, it's not totally cool. Lots of people died. And also, we're going to get really pornographic, guys.
No,
You guys ready?
no. The BBC says that doesn't happen.
Oh.
Yeah.
No one dies. It's fine.
Yeah, we fucking hate the BBC here. Fuck the BBC.
Everything's fine.
You're referencing some sort of controversy, and I don't know what it is. I feel
Don't
so
worry
left
about
out.
it. Don't worry about it.
The fact that they censored documentaries about the Gaza genocide.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I was so left out of that. I didn't know this was. My brain has all week. All I've thought about was dick.
This was months
I've
ago.
only
Dude.
thought about
This was
ancient
months ago.
dick.
Months and months ago, yeah.
Well, months and months ago, all I was thinking about was ancient dick and volcanoes. So
yeah, coming up with the concept of this fucking
Atlantis.
show. God, I hate Atlantis. I hope we never have to talk about Atlantis ever again.
It's not as fun when you do the actual research.
So, Kane, all the dicks in town. What is the popular theory? We've talked about this before. Why were there so many dicks? They were used for.
They were pointed to brothels. They were like arrows, like the street signs we have now that say "exit here." They had a dick.
That's fucking
That
crazy.
brothel here.
Here's the thing, though. If the dicks all pointed to brothels, that means Pompeii should have had a ton of brothels. But archaeological evidence suggests they only had one. That is for sure, with the evidence we have, that was a brothel.
So, but what was the legality of that?
Yeah,
And
was
did
it
they
like
know?
legal? during
And,
that
well, it
time?
would have been the same as it was in Roman culture. So, I mean, it would have been like the same
don't-
kind of laws of the land, I would believe.
Acceptable. I'm
Yeah,
not
it
totally
was.
sure.
It
I don't
wasn't
know the laws of
illegal.
Roman
I don't
stuff.
Yeah, so it wasn't illegal, but all the evidence points to only one building that was an actual brothel.
But could it also be like
Like they're just not confirming that multiple buildings are brothels, but
I mean,
like
it could be. I mean,
yeah,
but
sure.
there's way too many dicks all over the town for
Could
them
it-
to
but
all
could
be
it-
pointing toward brothels.
could it have been like the ancient equivalent of like writing a name on a bathroom stall?
Or
Like
the
it's not
ancient
technically a
equivalent of-
brothel, but if you want something, you go here and you.
Or it could be. It could have been. Or like we'll see this a little bit later. Or just insults to random people.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna draw a dick pointing at this guy's house, this girl's house who broke my heart, so everyone thinks that they can just come here and get fucked. I mean, it's again, we're shooting the shit, but there's no evidence that that's the case, other than the circumstantial stuff
But
written on
human
there,
nature hasn't
essentially
changed.
ancient bathroom stalls. No,
Yeah,
it has not.
we've
We're
always
gonna
been
get
the
into that
same.
even more. So there will be brothels everywhere, of course, like we said, but there's only archaeological evidence of one. We're gonna actually see something that we know for a fact is in a brothel because it was a bathhouse. Where I don't know if you guys know this, but ancient Rome was very popular. There was basically bathing was a communal thing.
Yeah.
Everyone hung out in a bath together because they didn't know what germs were.
Yeah.
Can you go to the next slide? I wanted to do the wide shot of this, and we'll get to some of the closer pictures before. But again, we'll put this on YouTube. But Kane, you want to describe what we're seeing here and from your eyes, and then we'll break it down a little bit.
The Italian version of the Kama Sutra.
This is the most polite way to put it I've ever heard.
There's 3 people in some of those images. There's 2 people in some of them.
But the viewers, the listeners on the podcast that we want to start getting going soon, can't see any.
We
of
also
this.
want to be monetized eventually.
They can't see any of this though, so you need to describe for them what we have here.
Well, see, one's hard to make out. The second one is at least 2 people. Can't really make out. The third one is
We're
definitely someone on all fours with someone behind them, and then someone behind that person as well.
It's getting so sexy.
Can't make out the other one.
God.
There's one. Wait, they can't. We're not putting this in the video.
No, this is going to the video.
So why am I describing this?
For our podcast listeners, our audio-only listeners.
All right, there's another one of
You do not need to do this. We could just be like
No, I'm gonna do it.
vaguely
I'm gonna
sexual
do it.
positions, and
No,
it gets the
I'm
same
doing it.
point across.
I'm going through the rest of them. There's 4 more. I'm going through them. There's a person laying back, spread eagle, and someone with their head
Where?
down between their legs.
This show sucks.
This is awesome.
Next one,
This
the next 2 can't really be made out, and the third one the last one looks vaguely of scissor type motion, but it's hard to tell. Scissor type position, but who?
They're scissoring. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so what do you guys think this was used for?
Well, below it, there's
Do you think it had a
numerals.
practical purpose? There's Roman numerals below it.
So is that like go to this place to get this, go to this place to get
There's no
this? Like,
way
is that what,
that's true.
is it like a menu
No way.
for a brothel or
A
something?
lot of people
Menu.
thought that.
What?
Think that. A lot of people think it's a menu.
Is it like you go to Sonic and I want a number 5?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, like there's certain people who believe that that's what this is for, and they get the bathhouse downstairs. You go and take your bath, and upstairs maybe you pick out what you want to do and go fuck. However, if we look down below, you would notice in the walls, and I didn't put this in here because it's just hard to find a good shot of it outside of the documentary that I watched. There's holes in the wall where obviously there used to be shelves. And if you look at the Roman numerals, they look like baskets, like primitive drawings of baskets. They didn't have time to put the detail work
Yeah.
for once, but they look like boxes. And so we had the shelves, we had the boxes. Also on the floor, there's remnants of wicker. Like there was at one point wicker baskets in there. So essentially, this wasn't like you're going to McDonald's and ordering off like a combo menu for sex. You would put your clothes, when you took them off, before this was a room. This is what this room was for.
Yeah.
Essentially, where you would take your clothes off in here and go to the next room, and the logical step of walking in is the bath that you would go in. So you would remember that I parked my clothes on three-way doggy style, on Roman numeral number 4. And that's how you remember where your clothes were. It's the equivalent of like a parking garage.
Well, why do you need both?
Why don't you just keep them with you? Yeah, wait, why do you need both? That's a great question.
Well, because there might have been multiple shelves and multiple baskets as well. So I'm not really sure why you need both. But they're both there.
So the numerals are in order, but they're from right to left, so...
Yeah, they're like
this is a composite image and it's flipped, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because this is too big to actually fit in one picture. Yeah. So this is a composite, and I just lazily pasted it together.
If you were going to do multiple symbols, wouldn't it make sense for like all of one shelf
YouTube will get better than that,
to be number 1, and then you could see like 3-way doggy style number 1 or 3-way doggy style number 2 for the second shelf? Like, this system doesn't really make sense to me. Like, you could either, like, I'm sure the sexual positions drawn on the wall would be more memorable than the numerals would, but it feels like redundant to have both.
I understand what you're saying. But it was supposed to help you remember where you put your clothes. Is Mary Beard's theory as to why she thinks this was here. It wasn't some sort of sex menu.
Could it have been both?
Maybe.
I feel like both are pretty
if anyone
stupid.
needs me, this is where I'll be.
I'll be the guy in the middle sandwich, boning and getting it up the rear.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's not even a power. That is like that. I guess that is a power bottom, huh?
What?
No.
What are you talking
power
about?
Middle? A power middle? Well, if you're like this and someone's doing that,
I'm not having this conversation with you.
We have to. This is Pompeii sexy time.
I don't know what that would be.
Power middle.
Oh, there actually is a name for, I don't know if it counts if there's a woman involved, but there is a name for that person.
Well, what I think this says about Pompeii and all the dicks and all the other sexual shit we're about to show you that was part of Pompeii art is that sex to them was kind of mundane, right? We think of sex today because we come from like not ancient, but an old Puritan society where sex was meant to have with as much clothes on as possible, so you could procreate and have a son to help you until you have a son to help you toil the fields and stuff. It's that sort of idea of sex that kind of sprung up after monotheist religions kind of took over society. Yeah. But to them, sex was just like, whatever. It's just fun. It's a fucking thing. Was it funny to them? Absolutely. We're going to see that later. But let's go ahead, Kane. Let's look at some more slides before we get more deep into this.
Jesus fucking Christ. We can't show this.
You get too deep into this, and then you go to this.
I'm going to block this out. This is a sculpture. This is going to be up on YouTube as well.
Did you use that line on purpose, or did you not get the pun?
What?
You said before we get too deep into this, and then you go to this slide.
No, it's amazing. I'm glad I did that. Okay, guys.
To be fair, this technically is not bestiality.
No.
Because that's a satyr.
Well, someone has to describe it for our audio listeners.
I mean, I didn't know.
He's fucking a goat.
It's a goat. It's a goat in missionary.
You don't have to get technical about it.
Yes, you do.
I feel like this is that.
We need to put the image in our listeners' heads.
I feel like what I said was plenty enough.
No, we don't skip on details here. All right. Yeah, it's a goat in missionary. Getting it from a satyr.
What the fuck is a satyr?
It's a half man, half goat mythological being.
Oh,
but
I guess that makes it a little better.
Is that how the anatomy works? I don't know if that lines up, honestly.
I mean, they could
That's
take
your issue with
artistic, like, royalties with it. I mean, it's the artist's interpretation of a pan like being having sex with a goat.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess so. I mean, we're talking about
Okay.
a satyr being a goat. I guess I get too caught up on the details.
I just want everyone to know I have like 5 pages of notes on all of this. This is something I just researched. All right,
Yeah, this is making my episodes extremely boring.
This is bonkers.
Next slide, please.
Wait, you don't have anything else to say about this? It was just that?
Oh yeah, this is just art. We just found it. We named it.
Okay.
We named that pan, like literally, it's like named Pan in sexual relations with a goat because we just found it. There is no backstory. This is a town destroyed by a
Was
mountain
that literally something found in Atlantis?
What?
Not Atlantis, Pompeii.
Pompeii? Yeah,
Really?
Pompeii and Herculaneum. All this is from those 2 cities.
I'm
And we
guessing
have no
that
context.
statue was a recreation, though?
I'm sure it's a recreation.
They look pretty pristine.
Yeah,
to be
it's a
buried
recreation
under
of
volcanic
something.
ash.
And
for
some of
centuries.
most of these pictures are the actual ones, and some of them are where they fill in details.
Yeah.
But I try to find the actual ones
Yeah.
when I could.
We have no context to where any of these were located or what they were used for at all.
Oh, I have that. I have some of that information. This,
But not the goat one. We don't know what that
the
was
goat
for.
one. No, it was literally just on the Wikipedia article
I got you.
of sex in Pompeii, and I'm like, that's going in. That goat is going in. So again, this is these were all over. So this was common decorative painting. You'd walk in someone's house and they'd have something like this. You'd walk into the bar and they would have something like this. Can you go ahead and go to the next slide? We're just going to scan through some of these. This was a little bit harder to see, but I picked this one.
I can tell what it is.
Yeah, I can see.
Go ahead, Kane.
It's a guy sitting
Mm-hmm.
and a woman on all fours. What looks like providing oral comfort. I'm not sure what we can say
fellatio.
On here.
We can say whatever we want.
No, we cannot.
No,
No,
we literally
we
can't.
cannot.
Guys,
Like
that one guy won the election. It's fine.
Actually, that Gaza ship might get us censored. Like, actually, that
We'll
conversation from
put,
earlier.
we'll put it at the beginning and I'll just beep it like I do all the fucked up shit.
There's going to be a lot of beeps in this episode.
Oh, and some blurs and I'm going to do black bars so you still kind of see the art. Go ahead, Ken. Go to the next one.
Yep, that's...
Yeah, that is I picked this one just to show like variety of positioning. I think of this as a very modern position. John, you want to describe what Jon The Younger? Will you describe what's happening?
No.
It's a man lifting a woman from her buttocks as she lays down, thrusting his hips into her pelvic region to engage coitus. Ken, are you happy with that? Because that's how you've been describing all these pictures in the most unsexy way possible.
As he should.
Yeah, that's the appropriate thing to do in this situation.
Next slide. Oh, this is a fun one.
This is a group shot.
This is a fun one.
There's a lot going on here. So here, just to show, again, see, I went into this, and we discussed it before, with the impression that Roman attitudes toward homosexuality was mostly a male-on-male thing. But as we can see here, it was totally cool for 2 women to
You can kind of tell.
Can we tell
get a
here?
roll with it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing. It's there, and then so I think this is a woman performing oral sex on a woman, who's then in turn performing oral sex on a man, who is then engaged in copulation with another man from behind.
I have to cut
How
all
the
this out.
fuck can you tell that?
No, it's not getting cut. This is going in. Because I also read the description and the titles of these because I did my research.
Dude, also, this is not, like, there's so much censorship that is gonna have to happen here. Like, you cannot say any of the shit on the tube, brother.
It's just, we're talking about art in Pompeii. What do you mean? This is edutainment, if anything. Okay. Next slide.
Yes.
Oh, coins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what the fuck were these used for?
We don't know. We just found them.
I was hoping they were like arcade tokens.
Whatever the ancient version of skee ball was.
They're like your commemorative coins.
Oh yeah, you think
they
they like
the Franklin Mint?
You know those like like you put the quarters in the machine, you turn them, and they like stretch them out and put an elephant
Yeah.
on it or whatever. It's like one of those.
Yeah.
So these are pretty interesting because they were hidden away for a long time. Like they didn't want anyone to see these, obviously. These are coins depicting various sex acts. We're not really sure what they're used for, but then they're finally put on display in Glasgow in 2009.
I mean, it's depicting slight variations of like two basic positions, mostly. But still, you know.
Why didn't they want? Is it because it's man on man? Was that the
it's
thing?
not necessarily
or is it just because it was sexual?
It's because it was sexual.
I got you.
Not all man on man.
And who discovered Pompeii first? Do you have that info? Was it the Spaniards?
Oh yeah, we went into this a little bit, and I was going to go into more detail on it here, but then I just got too much caught up in the sex stuff. But yeah, it was.
We have one job here. We have one job, and it's to inform.
But yeah, we talked about it in the story beneath. Spaniards found it. Like we think they found it first. We know they uncovered it because it's documented, and we know that they found mostly stuff like this, and we're like, stop digging there. So it was gone for a long time.
I'm very surprised.
So it was just ignored. So they knew something was there, but when they saw what most of the images, the art depicted, and the stuff they were pulling out of the ground, they were like, absolutely not. We're not touching this.
I'm very surprised that any of it survived.
And the stuff and then even in later years, stuff was found and then put in the cabinet of Naples again, which we also talked about in the story beneath. We touched upon that.
Like, because most of the time, whenever, especially like religious zealots find shit like this, it normally gets burned or destroyed in some way.
Well, I mean, they couldn't really destroy it. They could have.
I mean, why couldn't
thrown
they?
Into a smell. I mean, they would have had to have taken it with them to destroy it.
Sure, yeah. I'm assuming they did take it with them, though, didn't they?
No,
to, like keep it away from
like
people.
You said, they left it.
Oh, they just fucking threw it on the ground and just
No,
left?
they buried it back.
Oh, okay.
They covered it back up and never spoke of it.
I'm very surprised that's how they handled it and didn't like try to dig up as much shit as possible to burn it.
Oh no! They I don't think they were in the business of destroying it. I just think it was like society. It's one of those things where it's like society can't handle this.
Yeah, sure.
And you know, this being our heritage, essentially.
It just surprises me that a lot of this shit, like,
I mean, that's why they stored it away forever. They didn't want to destroy it. They knew it was They knew it was important. And they knew it was artifacts. But they also were like, the public can't know that people used to behave this way.
I mean, maybe it was because of Pompeii.
Otherwise, it raises huge questions about what is natural when it comes to human nature.
Like, maybe it's because it's Pompeii. That's why they didn't destroy it. You know what I mean? Like, one of the largest cities being destroyed by a volcano.
I would say they didn't know it was Pompeii at the time they uncovered it.
No,
sure,
I
yeah.
don't know anything about it.
All right, I think that's the end of the slideshow. I think that's the end of. Let's go hit one more time. Yeah. So that's the end of. Unfortunately, there's no more visuals for Pompeii Sexy Time, but Pompeii Sexy Time isn't over because the residents of Pompeii
The only thing
and
that makes this
Herculaneum.
better is the fact that you're going to have to edit this shit.
Yeah,
you're going to have
it's
to
on you, buddy.
bleep and blur all this stuff.
Oh no, we're saying dick so
That's
many
your
times.
parents.
We could say penis, right?
Yeah, you can say penis. I
Yeah.
think you can even get
You
away
guys-
with dick a few
We
times.
can,
We
but
can
we
re-record
didn't.
it.
We didn't at all.
We can re-record it and come up with like cute names, like how they call like. I know I mentioned this before, but you know how they call like pedophiles, PDF files. And we can just come up with like cute names with like vagina and buttholes and penis.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be the one who is coined the term fucking. I can't even think of one. What's a good making up name for a penis? I'm not going to be the one coined with the term of toad. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want that to be my contribution
we very
on
easily could
society.
have just said genitals this whole time. It's not hard to avoid saying those.
Well, I
Is
feel like
pink squid cute? That's what we call a lady part.
I
Or the pink
Who
oyster?
calls it
A
that?
pink
Who calls it
oyster?
a pink square.
A pink oyster?
pink
What is wrong with
squid.
you? Pink
I was watching hentai before this.
God.
I was getting the mood for Pompeii Sexy Time.
Yo, cut all of this shit.
No, it's not.
Cut
This is
all
my
of
episode.
this
I get
shit.
one episode. I get one episode because the rest of the time I'm slaving away editing and listening to audio and, you know, getting the scripts organized, getting all your dumbass thoughts organized into a readable scripts.
The whole video is
This
gonna
is
be
the thing that I get to do. This is my special thing, and we're doing it.
We don't require you to do all that shit. You choose to do all that shit.
Okay. So,
You're gonna hold that against us forever. He's gonna.
We don't have to
Next time
describe.
he's gonna come up with more weird shit. He's like, I do everything around here. This is is the one thing that's mine.
This is so fucking off the rails.
Okay, let's get back. Let me get this straight back on track, guys.
Was there a trap?
We have been so far off the
Sexy
minecart.
track.
We're in the lava at this
All
point.
right,
boys.
so a lot of they also have had a way with words. The citizens of Pompeii and Herculaneum. A lot of the graffiti, of course, is hard to decipher. But what's also kind of interesting is because like it's sometimes the writing will be in Latin, sometimes it'll be in Greek, which says that they kind of had like a multicultural thing going on there.
Yeah. Being a port city,
being
they
a port
probably
city.
were.
So let's start with some of the graffiti. This is fun. And how similar it is to things that like we see now on bathroom stalls or written on beautiful beautiful landscapes, like where the kids go watch sunsets, and they'll just spray paint shit on the rocks.
Yeah.
So this one was on the wall in the brothel. I really like this one. I came here and I had a good fuck.
It's concise.
Yeah.
To the point.
Here's one
That's the equivalent of like a Google review back then.
Yeah.
yeah, this brothel's alright.
Yeah.
A graffiti at a bar in Herculaneum says, "Weep, you girls, for my penis has given you up. Now it penetrates only men's behinds."
I remember that one. I've read it before.
Also at the same bar, "We two dear men, friends forever, we're here. If you want to know our names, they are Galus and Alias."
Dude, there's no way the dude's name.
Gaius and Alias. I can't pronounce it. It might be pronounced different. It's in my notes.
There's no way that's his name. That's why.
I would say Gaius and Aulus.
Gaius and Alias. Yeah, that sounds right.
Why did he say you want to know our names and then gave the names? I thought it was going to be a thing like you want to know our names. Well, you shall never know. No, he just gave up his name.
No, he asked if you wanted to know his name, then he gave you his name. It's perfectly reasonable.
Polite. How nice.
Yeah, he was letting you know he was there.
Yeah.
Written on the streets on a wall. "Take off your tunic, please, and show us your hairy privates."
Very cool.
It must have been, I assume it's probably a Latin word for general.
Yeah.
I tell you, I assume it's like all sex, otherwise the translation would have been specific.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, what if like everyone can kind of party here?
Yeah, anyone who wants to.
They also had, I didn't write down, you guys, because I draw the line at scat, but they really did have an obsession with poop, and a lot of the graffiti was poop related. And even the ones that weren't in like the bathroom, like the bars would be like, "Don't shit near this establishment" and stuff like that. That was a pretty common one. For like bars and restaurants and eateries and stuff would be like, "Don't shit near here," because they did have toilets, but also too it was the ancient times.
It's like Japan where they had to make outdoor urinals because drunk salaryman kept like pissing on the street.
Yeah, but bathrooms weren't common, to say the least. And I mean, they were there, they existed, but it's not like every house had a traditional place for people to use the restroom in public. But this one I really think is funny because it reminds me of just like bathroom stuff. This was actually written in a latrine. "May everything turn out okay so that you can finally leave this place." I don't know if he's talking about the actual bowel movement itself or he's just like really miserable in
Yeah, maybe
Pompeii.
he's just taking a shit and being
He
like
wants to
super
get the hell out of
esoteric.
here. But you guys, as you're going to find out when this becomes the most popular episode we ever do, sex sells. The brothel in Pompeii is still the most popular tourist attraction. The only known brothel. People flock there. Mary Beard also suggests that some of the depictions of sex as we've seen are very fantastical and kind of fantasy driven. So she suggests that the depictions were, if used for anything, to kind of like entice people at the proposal of like this might happen here. Like the possibility that this wild sex could be here. So thinking of it as like an ancient Don Draper came in and be like, "Hey, put this painting in my bar because guys will think they might find a girl who will do this."
Yeah.
Because it is very fantastical depictions of sex, I think.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. So, despite all the art, Mary Beard believes that the Romans were no more obsessed with sex than we were. like today's society.
Yeah.
Sure, it was more out in the open, but I think it's important to remember that their society had no Pornhub, no Chatterbaits, no X videos, no RedTube, no X Hamster.
Are you
You're just
47
They
years
had
old?
no way to mass publish art, no theaters, no magazine. This culture was without Gone Wild subreddits. There was no Asian X TV, no Triple X cosplay Tumblr, no celeb roulette.
We don't have Triple X cosplay Tumblr anymore.
Yeah, are
gone.
you 60? What is this? What is
The only outlet. The only outlet. I have a point here. Making a point. The only outlet they really had to produce this type of art in a male-dominated society was to put it in the public sphere. That was their mass publishing system.
So is she saying that they're not any more obsessed or open with their sex than we
No,
are?
she's saying that their society was more open, but we are just as sex obsessed as they are, is what she are.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they're just,
Just because theirs is in public,
yeah.
they didn't have a theater, a Dark City theater. That was the point I was making.
Sure.
Like, you know, that this is how they depicted and got those feelings out. And this was a male-dominated society, so lots of sexual feelings were there. Like,
Okay.
it was just like that's how they got this the same sort of satisfaction we might get from, you know, visiting a porn
But
website.
again, human nature hasn't changed.
No,
Yeah, sure.
not at all.
It's how we continue to exist as a species. It's an innate need of ours.
Yes.
You know,
And we also know anytime a bunch of dudes get together in a room and there's any sort of art equipment around, or even if it's not,
then one of them is going to
get
start
made.
talking about sex and
Yes,
show you a bunch
yeah,
of pictures
yes,
of
and no,
people.
no, penises are going to get drawn. I was like, when I was in high school machine shop, we somehow found a way to like use lathes and shit to like make dicks and think it was funny, because this is what a bunch of men do who are filled up with testosterone when they get together. They do sex, which is what we've done here, which is amazing. Okay. I'm going to skip a paragraph because I went off on a weird tangent because I got in a dark place. I must have read something on the internet when I took a break that made me really angry.
What?
Because I suddenly how connect this to like modern government, and
You just
I get really mad. And it's like an anarchist manifesto, like right in the middle of my sex
You
thing.
gotta hit it.
You just looked at the real world for 5 seconds.
Yeah, I took a break and like went outside and opened the internet and read the news and just was like wrote like an anarchist manifesto in the middle of my fun thing. Okay. All right, guys. Pompeii. We're not done talking about Pompeii, but Pompeii sexy time is sadly over.
So now are we just gonna talk about Pompeii?
So one thing before you move
we'll
on from sex,
Yeah.
something you
Kane,
said.
I came all hot. And bothered.
We
He's
might
ready.
go into this in more detail later, but
Uh,
you mentioned Puritans and being puritanical.
Uh.
Puritans fucked.
oh
A
yeah,
lot.
they did. Yeah.
Like it had to be within marriage, but once you got married, like everything's
But I'm
good.
just saying, like the public attitude of sex,
Yeah.
though,
Yeah,
it is very. This happens behind closed doors. Where in Pompeii, it was kind of like,
Yeah, like,
this is part of life.
Puritans could get divorced if your spouse wasn't giving you sex. Like it was a reason to
Yeah.
divorce someone. You could also get excommunicated for not giving your spouse sex.
These are just the rest of this is just kind of some stuff that I think paints a picture of Pompeii that I guess it kind of would be more fun to pose the question to you guys. So the Pompeian population, what do you think like they ate in general? And keep in mind too, like, you know,
Red meats?
what would the poor eat, and then what would the rich eat? Do you think there'd be a big difference?
I mean, given it's Mediterranean, I would say meat would be mostly fish. Probably poultry would probably be second because it would be easier to
That's what I was thinking.
keep in a city like that.
Mhm.
Any kind of like beef or venison or anything like that would have had to been brought in. So I imagine fish and then chicken would be like the main sources of protein.
What would the like lower class eat, you think?
Probably some form of like
Bread, right? That's what I was thinking.
like I don't know. I can't like. There's some cultures that have like specific names for it, but just that like. I think Ratatouille is that. Not the movie, but the original dish Ratatouille was just like, this is what we got, throw it in a pot and boil it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they just
sure.
kind of made it like a cool spiral that looks rad.
That's actually not Ratatouille. we'll
That
we'll get into that.
there's a name for that. I don't remember it though.
It's Bialdi or Bialdi confit or something like that.
I thought it was
Ratatouille's a
called Fox
stew.
Ratatouille.
But that's basically like, it was a poor person's food where they just like you just throw everything in a pot basically. I imagine it was something like that, or like a porridge, some kind of grain or something that.
Yeah,
A
so
lot of
bread
protein,
grains.
carbs.
So
Yeah,
when we look at, and again, I don't know the science and how they do this, but they could look at bones and remains and be like, this is what they ate based on like proteins in there.
Yeah.
So like fish, nuts, or also just based on evidence of like, things that were laying around in restaurant areas, I assume.
Yeah.
So yeah, fish, nuts, bread. The thing that I found interesting is that the rich and the poor, like who would be like lower class society and upper class society, ate the same thing. There was no like delicacies. There was no food reserved for the rich. And another interesting thing, they were all well fed. Very like almost next to none of the remains that we find show signs of malnutrition, and from the poor all the way up. So this was a society that took care of its poor by evidence of that. And their slaves were not malnourished as well, because they did have slaves, but we're going to get to that later.
Yeah.
So, the only difference is I wanted to point this out between the rich and the poor is how they ate. The poor tended to congregate in bars, restaurants, and on the street,
Yeah.
and buy street food and eat that way. While the rich, you guys, I wish I would put a picture of it in now, but it's like this weird bed thing. Have you ever seen the old timey pictures of like depicting like Romans and they're eating grapes?
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
They would sit there and eat in that. And in the documentary, it's very funny. Someone tries to actually lay in it, and they're like, "This is the most uncomfortable thing." It's all about. I guess it was about optics. I really don't know.
Well, also, like, did they recreate that, or is it still the same piece of
it's
furniture?
there. It's carved
I
from
mean-
stone.
It's carved from stone?
Carved from
in a rich
stone.
person's house. Yeah,
Well, they might have.
what was like equivalent of like a large.
They might
a
have
large
had like
palace
blankets or
house.
cushions of some kind. They
They
put on
had
it.
to. That's what I imagine. Like something that they put on it to make that a little more comfortable. Let's see here. I'm getting my notes. Sorry, my notes get a little bit more jostly from here because it's like we're kind of moving on from thought to thought.
Yeah, you had to lock in for the sex part.
It is,
But
I did.
whenever you're speaking to everything else, it doesn't matter. Just write it down.
This is fun too. There is a painting in another bar in Herculaneum, that it's almost like a comic. Like it has squares. I got the picture saved, but I didn't put it in the slideshow. So it will be on the YouTube. But it's like, it looks like a comic book, right? It has panels and everything. And it's like one guy's, like it depicts two men playing dice. And in the first panel, the guy's like, I won. And the literal translation from Latin, a guy says, no, you didn't, cocksucker. I fucking love history. It's just like a fucking slice of life painting. Like, it's just right there at the bar. Like, this is the type of shit that probably happens here,
Yeah, like I understood why humans built in those areas, but it's also kind of like the two worst things you could be by is a large body of water and a fucking volcano. I understood why they built cities there.
So we talked about the Greek writing on the walls, other evidence of like how far, like, this is a Roman town, so it's not surprising. But just think about like, what we think of like Western society today. So think of it at this time. We would think like English would be on the up and coming up or whatever. But, Pompeii shows evidence. There's like Egyptian jewelry there. There's carvings that are clearly just by the way that they're carved and designed was common in Indian art at the time.
Yeah.
So they are far reaching. If these people aren't coming here and visiting, at least these goods are making their way into Pompeii and people are buying them, and the rich are having them as like luxury items.
Well, I would imagine being a Mediterranean port city, it had a lot of.
It probably had a lot of tourists.
But I'm
A
just
lot of
saying,
different people
I just think
coming.
what I found interesting is like compare that to like the average English village from the same time,
Yeah.
and what kind of outreach they had,
Yeah.
and how we think of modern day. It's just that's where it feels kind of foreign to me, but it also feels so close to just human beings. Like human nature's not the same, like always the same. Excuse me. Doesn't matter how many centuries are between us and how much land is between us. It's the human nature kind of.
Yeah, culture doesn't determine human nature. Culture determines how those particular humans express their nature. But we all the same deep down in the most basic features.
And again, this is something we're going to talk about race for a second, because I think that's important. aspect of any society, especially a society that had slaves. And when you think of slaves, your immediate go-to is like some sort of subjugated minority, usually. But we know that, people of sub-Saharan African descent lived in Pompeii. We see it in the archaeological evidence. But they're also fucking loaded and lived independently, a lot of them did.
Yeah. Slaves throughout history, America was the by far the worst about Africa slave trade. Throughout history, that wasn't necessarily always...
Slavery in modern Pompeii is a lot more complicated than what we think of as slavery. We know that slaves could become ex-slaves fairly easily just by looking at Pompeian artifacts. There's a cemetery where a man tells a whole story about how he was a freed slave and how he was buried next to his best friend who used to own him. So
was it more was their form of slavery more like the indentured servitude kind of?
I think it is. It's described as slavery still, because I don't think you were necessarily paid well, but you could work your way out of slavery. You could find your master could free you. I don't think it was even like a master slave situation. It was almost like you lost this battle and we enslaved this population. But as you integrate in society,
pretty common back then.
And as you integrate in society, you kind of can rise above that level. It just became something. It just became your status. Like your societal status, and you can work your way out of that societal status.
Well, it probably went a little bit better for men than it did women, I would imagine.
I would also like to make
sure,
very clear we do not fuck with any of this. This is just the repeating of history, what actually happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's nuanced, a little nuance there. As compared to what we think of Western slavery.
He has to say that for Gen Z and Gen Alpha who don't understand that talking about something isn't...
No, you hear the word slavery
you talked about
and
women,
then it goes red, you know what I mean?
None of this fucking justifies slavery, of course, or how they treated women as sex workers.
Validly so. You hear the word slavery, you should say fuck that. I ain't gonna get on your shit for that.
You don't have to say it every time. Unless you specifically come out as for it, then it's implied that you're against it.
Yeah, well... I want to point out here that many of the white men we covered in the story beneath glorified the Roman Empire as some beacon of truth and morality. But the women that were sex workers, the conditions, if you look up the photos of the beds that they conducted business in, it is not sexy. It's about the size of an American jail cell. And that's where they lived their lives.
Yeah.
And conducted their business. So... we can't really applaud sex. They're sex positive, obviously, but not in the way that we think of it. We can't applaud the Roman Empire for being again, some beacon of how society should model itself, like many, many, many European men did, and American men included. But, it's just interesting to me.
Yeah, it is.
To me, Kane, Pompeii is complicated.
You're gonna repeat that for however long we do this, aren't you?
Line?
Oh yeah, it's done. Yeah, it's because Kane said in the video, and it's one of my favorite things. I talked about this off mic with him. In the Story Beneath video, he has this moment in the video, and it's so powerful to me because it's we're culminating to the end in this conclusion, and we talk about how Atlantis could be anything that he does the whole speech where Atlantis could be, and he goes, and Pompeii is complicated.
I don't think I sighed that loud.
You do. You definitely do. I'm going to play it for you after this.
I listened to this whole video. I don't remember this at all.
Pompeii is complicated. Pompeii is complicated. Pompeii is complicated. I'm going to go on there, and he's going to have added a cartoonishly loud sigh.
No. I'm editing your sign at every act break in my thing, and so you can hear it over and over again, unedited, and how it was in the video. Don't you fucking dare! Don't you dare!
Oh, we recorded that months ago. I don't even remember.
We got any closing thoughts about Pompeii?
Pompeii is a super interesting topic.
Yeah,
especially what we talk about in the video when you go into here is the way it was covered up, because at the time and that's what's sort of the prevailing sense of modesty was more important than this huge historical find to a lot of to certain people.
Well, the people empowered, the people that mattered.
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot about Pompeii doing this, and I'm fascinated by it. I remember being fascinated as it by a kid because of the, I don't know if you call them mummies. What would you call them?
Yeah,
You know, the cast of
the
people and
remains,
looking at those and just being like stunned. And I remember in my social studies book, it was so funny to me that they particularly talk about the two maidens. And we did a creative writing exercise where we had to write a story about who we thought they were to each other. Or lots of people would change it to a love story that was a man and a woman, and you know what I mean, or they were mother and sister and stuff like that. And today, of course, we know that lots of the archaeological evidence and even the DNA evidence, they're most likely both men.
Yep, two dudes.
Yeah, and it just shows again.
There was an entire movie made around the two maidens.
Was there?
Yes, Kit Harington was in it. It was called Pompeii.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
the last shot of the movie is him and the lead actress standing together, like holding each other as the ash comes in on them.
Oh, and then we get the slow fade to the actual thing, and then the movie says the end, and everyone's like, "Shit, that was deep."
Yeah,
Kit Harington.
The movie
Oscar.
bombed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I bet that movie fucking bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was when he was still in Game of Thrones, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be serious in movies now."
I'm gonna be a fucking
no,
movie star. I'm gonna be a Hollywood draw, baby. That didn't work out.
All right, should we call it to close?
Yeah, because I was about to talk about I was about to want us to examine like the weirdness of like, has a fucking television show and a cultural zeitgeist ever fallen off quicker than Game of Thrones?
I don't think so.
Do we have time to get into
The Walking Dead hit it pretty hard too.
We're only at 50 minutes. We can get into that today.
The Walking Dead hit that ceiling too, though.
The Walking
Dead got a slow death.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones did it in like 4 seasons.
The Walking Dead ironically became a zombie.
Yeah,
it was a dead show that just would not die.
Man, we really got to get a culture show going where we talk about pop culture. We need to get it. What would we call that? What would be a cool name?
I don't know. We have been talking about that, but we haven't gotten
pop
into
culture beneath.
People have to listen and like and subscribe.
Pop-up video?
Pop-up video.
The Soup?
What? You're just saying words now.
Those are shows
that
you're too young to remember.
We talk about culture, we eat soup? Like, it's because that's like we're feeding, like it's a comfort food, and so is like talking about pop culture?
We need to workshop this. All right.
You're going to get sued by Joel McHale.
They brought that back. He owns that. That's whose lawyers we have to worry about.
But if you do want a show about us talking about pop culture myths and stuff, which we do hope to do, then like and subscribe and watch.
And let us know. Listen. Leave it on repeat in the background. Because we are pumping out content. We need to hit them listening hours. That's all the YouTube algorithm cares about. Okay, you guys. Any final thoughts on Pompeii before we head out today?
I already asked that.
Anybody else? Did you ask that?
Yeah, I asked it. Yeah.
Did we do that?
Definitely did.
Oh, I thought we just talked about Game of Thrones. Bye, everybody.
See y'all next time.
Oh, wait, no. Don't you hit that stop record button.
Oh, shit. My mic fell.
Don't you hit that fucking yet. Hey, guys. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok at CH13 Network. Thanks, bye.
See y'all next time.
Links in bio.
Bitch.